the meeting of August 23rd of the Granite City School Board to order. Roll call, please, Mr. Young.
Stacy? Here. Vinny?
Here.
Knoble?
Here.
Curran?
Here.
Nunn here. Wilmsmeyer?
Here.
And Lineker.
Here.
Yeah.
And welcome to our student board.
I know.
At this time, we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by an invocation by Pastor Stacy Wilson with GC First Assembly of God. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father, I thank you for this evening and for this time of gathering to discuss and plan for what's best for the families and the students of our community. Lord, I just ask that you would lead and guide each of these board members and all of the administration of our district, Lord, to follow your heart for kids and to love them and to serve them well, but to plan for what's best and safe. We pray your blessing over the school district in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. All right. So first, I just want to say we're pumped. I'm excited. School has started, so that's very awesome. But I do want to move to public comment. I know we've got at least one, if not more, here to talk this evening with us. So public comment, we've got a spot up here. If you'd like to come up here, we'll move the speaker down too, so you can be on camera. I'm sorry, on video. And would like to say we have a 5-minute limit, so we will time for that. This is not a discussion. This is your opportunity to talk. If anyone here wants to talk, to say what you want to say, but it is not a debate back and forth or answering questions or anything like that at this point. So I know we have at least one. Would you like to come on up?
Sure. We'll move the speaker so we can hear you. Is it okay, Ben?
Hi. My name is Chris Collins. I'm a lifelong resident of Granite City. My parents went to school here. I went to school here. My kids went to school here. My grandkids are now in school here. I'm here to talk about the buses. I'm not going to badmouth you guys on Facebook. I'm not going to entertain all that. So I'm just going to give you just a few facts just that I noticed. So I did my homework. I have a granddaughter that goes to Wilson. She rides bus number 17. I pulled the schedule for bus number 17 when I started this, and on the way to school in the morning, the bus route is different than on the way home, which is very odd to me, but I suggested on Facebook that parents pull the bus schedules. Make sure your stops are right, make sure they're on there, because this could be a problem. So the bus driver in the morning, and I'm not here to bash her, she's doing the best she can. This is not about bashing school bus drivers or nothing. She's not following the route, according to their printout. So, you know, if they changed it, it's not updated, and it's not the same again going into. My granddaughter is supposed to be picked up at 7:57 a.m. The earliest that she's been picked up is 8:04, which not a big deal, you know, because my daughter has the luxury that I live next door to her. So she can leave in the morning and go to work. She doesn't have to deal with all this because I work at home. So she's very fortunate. Everybody's not as fortunate. So we've had parents standing down there till 8:30 this week. I took some kids and kept them with me this week. I picked kids up off the bus because their parents couldn't get there to get them. So anyway, she left today, and they're, according to the route, they're supposed to be at school at 8:15. So school doesn't start till 9. So these are first and second graders being dropped off at school 45 minutes early. So I guess they go eat lunch or breakfast and go to the cafeteria. Okay, that's Wilson School's problem. If they want to deal with them for 45 minutes, that's their problem. So on the way home, like I said, her bus schedule's not the same. She's supposed to be at the bus stop at the corner of Faith and Wayne Avenue at 3:27. I put an air tag on her. We put an air tag on her, as sad as that sounds, on her backpack, because we knew that we were going to deal with problems with the bus. You know, it's just what it is. So we traced her every single day. They've been sitting at Wilson School every single day at 3:30. So here's the problem with that. I don't have a problem with what time she gets there. It doesn't affect me. I know where she is. I traced her. I go down to the bus according. The problem is if you have parents that get off work at 3:30 and they think their kids are gonna be at their bus stop at 3:27, they're paying babysitters. They're sending those kids to latchkey if they can't get there until 4 o'clock. That's a huge expense for a parent that a bus isn't even gonna get there. She got there at 4:08 today. That's enough. Wilson School, I just wanted to briefly give you some facts about what's going on. That's it with Wilson School. I'm not gonna say nothing else because my biggest problem is Grigsby. My grandson lives in West Granite. He missed school on Thursday, no bus. He missed school, he's late on Thursday, late on Thursday, missed school on Friday because no bus. They didn't come till 10:30. I called Grigsby and I said, what's going on with bus 2? Why can't they get there? Oh, they're late from picking up high school kids. Okay, my grandson, we had to run around yesterday and take him to school. This morning we found him a ride. They're still picking up high school kids when they're supposed to be at the bus stops. His bus pickup is 8:43 in the morning. Grigsby starts at 9:15. He's supposed to be at Grigsby. It's supposed to take them 11 minutes to get from West Granite by the fire department to Grigsby. I don't think I can make it 11 minutes, but if the bus can, wonderful, just don't kill my grandson in the process or any other kids. So those kids don't get to eat breakfast. They get dumped into school 10 minutes before school starts. That's not enough time. You're not allowing enough time. That's not fair to these kids. Some of these kids, they don't have food at home. I mean, I'm sorry, it's a fact. Some of them don't have food at home. As sad as that is, these kids need to have ample time. If you're giving 45 minutes to Wilson School kids, you need to at least give 30 to Grigsby. Grigsby's getting all the leftovers. They're going behind Frohart, Wilson, Maryville, high school, everybody, because they start last. So guess whose education is suffering? The 5th and 6th, I don't even know what grade goes on anymore, 5th and 6th graders. So my grandson has not been to school on time this entire year except for the days that we took him. We're not putting him on a bus at this point. He got home at 5:45 one night. It was 5:40 yesterday. Today we picked him up. He's getting on a bus at 3:45 to ride home from Grigsby School and not getting to West Granite by the fire department until 5:45. I mean, that's ridiculous. You have bullying problems on the bus? That's one of your problems. You can't put a bunch of 5th and 6th graders on buses that have been cooped up in a school all day long and been made to mind and put them on a bus and say, okay, sit there now for 2 more hours while we drive around. But I would like to say thank you for getting better buses with air conditioning, because I do feel better that they're at least not coming off the bus sweating, and I would like to thank the district for that. I did hear from somebody in a school position. They told me when I called and complained, we're not responsible for the buses. You absolutely are responsible for the buses. You hired these people, you contracted them, so your responsibility doesn't stop. You're responsible to get my child to school. I don't even have a child in the district, and I pay a lot of taxes. And I don't have a problem with paying them. I love Granite City. I don't want to be here to bash, but I wanted to tell you facts. Every Grigsby bus has a problem. I've heard from so many parents, so many parents. Another problem is there's parents who, my niece, she was going to have to go on afternoons if she couldn't find somebody to put her child on a bus. Her child can ride the bus to Prather from my corner, the same bus that my granddaughter rides. I said, they can come over here in the morning. I'll make sure they get on the bus. Nobody's even looked at her transfers yet. So here we are, we're almost a week into school. She has twins. She has to work. She's a single parent. And she, is scrambling every day because I can't stop and take kids to school. I have to work. So I take my lunch in the morning to walk my granddaughter down to her bus stop, and fortunately I get off at 3:30, so since the bus isn't gonna be there anyway at 3:27, I can walk down and get her off. But my daughter's fortunate, and there's not a lot of parents that are in this position. So I just think the board really needs to do something about Grigsby. I think they need to be individual buses from the others because this isn't working. Even if you stop the buses like you did last year and say, hey parents, take your kids for 3 weeks while we figure this out. That's a better option than to tell the parents, your bus is coming, maybe, maybe not. And then the parents are calling at 8:40 in the morning and they're saying, why isn't my kid's bus here? Oh, they're still picking up high school kids, they'll be there. That's unacceptable. My grandson is not getting, he's missing out on a lot of education, and they missed out on enough with COVID. Let's face it, especially these kids, there's a lot of them that are behind. Unfortunately for my grandkids, they were smart enough to keep up on their own because I know that I'm not that good of a teacher, but I'm just, I'm concerned about the district as a whole. So that's why instead of sitting here doing this on Facebook, I wanted to come here and give you facts.
We appreciate
So,
that, Ms. Collins.
Yes,
Thank you so much for that.
for
Thank
your
you.
time.
Thanks
I really, I do appreciate it. Like I said, I'm not gonna argue on Facebook. I just want to tell you, these are true stories. These are stories that I know of.
We appreciate
So,
that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for
Thank
your
you.
time. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else this evening for public comment?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's right. Okay, thank you again. We
Yes.
appreciate that. All right, moving on to minutes, approval of minutes under item 5A. This is minutes of the regular meeting of the Board of Education held on July 26th.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Very good. And approval of the minutes of the special meeting of Board of Education held on August 9th, 2022.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on those? All in favor, say aye. Those opposed? Very good. Consent agenda, item 6. We have items there, including some donations, which was fantastic. And we can either take everything on the consent agenda or break anything out, if anybody wants anything broken out there. Yes, please.
Okay, we had quite a few gifts to the district, and I wanna make sure that I acknowledge those, cause I think it's just really amazing that we have so much community support. Sports Clips gave us free haircut coupons, like quite a few of them. I just think, with no strings attached, not buy one, get one free, they were actually free haircut things, who accepted those? So they gave those for, of course, for the bash, or the welcome back party we were supposed to have, but they said, go ahead and use them, they were really great about that, they're always supportive, so I'm gonna make sure I mentioned them.
So we got about 300, and we're gonna issue those to the social workers.
Which
for
I
them
think
to
is
divvy
great.
up as needed.
So that's just amazing. The Midwest Members Credit Union also gave us giant tubs of school supplies, for most of the schools, I've distributed a lot of those. That was, and a gift card, I do believe, too, for $100 to Target as needed. We'll probably use that when we also hear if someone needs something, if a child needs a backpack, if they need something in particular, then we have that. Once again, it's just really nice to have their support. US Steel, Steel Workers and US Steel Corporate Office did a school supply drive. They were amazing as usual, had a bunch of things. They brought some down, Ms. Robin Sampson's with Human Resources and Ms. Krakovich, so we really appreciate that as well. The PEO International, what does that stand for? They brought us some school supplies. Marge Pinnell, I think, is I don't know exactly what it stands for, hold on, something philanthropy. Women celebrating the, PEO International members, women celebrating the advancement of women through scholarships, grants, awards, loans, and stewardship. So they gave us a donation of school supplies, quite a few things, we're very happy about that as well. And I know Debbie and Ed Kosecki gave some supplies to Mitchell, and in the meantime, we'll have this on the next one, but several churches brought some supplies to Prather in the last couple days too, so I'm very impressed with that. I just feel like we need to mention all the support we get from the community, so.
Anybody like to pull anything off the consent agenda or talk about it separately?
No.
Otherwise, I'll accept a motion to accept the consent agenda items.
So moved.
Second together, kind of together down there, you gave it up,
Second.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, motion by Erica, seconded by Eric. Team down there. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no, the ayes have it. Okay, item number 8A, retirements and resignations.
Yes, it is recommended that the following retirement and resignation be accepted. Ms. Pam Cook, counselor at GCHS, retirement effective end of 22-23 school year, she'll be missed.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? Roll call, please.
None, aye. Stacy? Aye. Finney?
Aye.
Knogle?
Aye.
Curran? Aye. Wilmsmeyer?
Aye. Item 8B, requests for leaves of absence.
It is recommended that the following requests for leaves of absence be approved. Taylor Buchanan, parapro at Wilson, effective 8/15/22 to 1/2/23. Ms. Laura Sell, paraprofessional at the high school, effective 8/24/22 to 11/18/22. And Ms. Megan Allen, secretary at Coolidge, effective 8/24/22 to 11/16/22.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion on those? Roll call, please.
Stacy? Aye. Vinnie?
Aye.
Knogle?
Aye.
Curran?
Aye.
None, aye. Wolfensmeyer.
Aye. Item 8C, extracurricular assignments for the 22-23 school year.
The GCSD9 and board administration is recommending the following extracurricular for the 22-23 school year. Mr. Brian Ames, assistant girls tennis coach, GCHS, and Ms. Karen Kukarnik, student council, character ed at Pearl Park.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Finney,
Aye.
Knoble,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
none, aye. Stacy,
Aye.
Wolfensmeyer.
Aye. Item 8D, extracurricular volunteers for the 22-23 school year.
The Granite City High School and administration at the board office is recommending the following extracurricular volunteers, which I really appreciate, at the 22-23 school year. Miss Lindsay Doolittle, softball coach at Coolidge, Mr. Vince Willeret, baseball coach at Coolidge, and Miss Rachel Clark, swim coach for GCHS.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? And I'd just like to say thank you also.
Mhm.
Volunteers are great. Roll call, please.
Knoble,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
none, aye. Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Wolfensmeyer.
Aye. And item 8E, certified and classified substitutes.
Yay, there's a big list. Just saying. It's recommended that the following applicants be board approved as substitutes for the 22-23 school year. Certified, Mr. Brian Ames, Ms. Lynette Lambert, Brian Berg, Ruth Lathrop, Tanya Binion, Emma Van Buskirk, and Rebecca Kriegel. Classified, William Bright, Riley Mitchell, Terry Russell, Edith Gonzalez del Rios, Ashley Richardson, Kristen Stockman, Sheila McElroy, Christina Rigsby, Sarah Valley, Deborah Miller, and Ashley Romine, and I'm thrilled to read that many names.
That's wonderful.
So,
That's fantastic.
So
thank you
moved.
very much.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Curran,
Aye.
none, aye. Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knoble,
Aye.
Wolfensmeyer.
Aye. Item 8F, under Human Resources, employments for the 22-23 school year.
Due to Scott Pape declining the offer of the 22, I think it's Pape actually, declining the offer of the 22-23 high school special education teacher, the administration has requested rescinding the recommendation.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
None, aye. Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knoble,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Wolfensmeyer.
Aye. And item number 2 under F is paraprofessionals.
Due to the resignation of 3 paraprofessionals recently, the interview committee consisting of Jim Parker, Jill Relicky, and Stephanie Boyer respectfully request board approval for the following applicants to serve as paraprofessionals for the 22-23 school year, pending the submission of the required paperwork. Ms. Stacy Bell, Ms. Amy Finazzo, Ms. Heather Thomas. Approval is recommended.
So moved.
Second. Linda can have it.
She got it in there. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knoble,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
none, aye. Wolfensmeyer.
Aye. I see no old business on the agenda, new business. Granite City School District 9 hearing officer for the 22-23 school year.
Approval is recommended to approve Ms. Cindy Gaggage and Ms. Donnie Falter as expulsion hearing officers for the 22-23 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knoble,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
none, aye. Stacy,
Aye.
Wolfensmeyer.
Aye. Item 10B is the proposed Region 1 special education budget, and I've got a sheet here I think we need to follow, correct?
Yes,
Mr. Schooley? So I need a motion to temporarily adjourn the Board of Education meeting,
So moved.
and a second.
Second.
And do I need to do a roll call vote?
No.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, now I want to open the public hearing for the Region 1 special education hearing, and ask first for any public comment that there might be. You all out there are saying, what?
What is this? What is Region?
Okay, and at this point, Ms. Cam would
Sure.
have somebody speak to it?
I can read this, Zach, unless you want, Mr. Surrey, do you wanna do this, or I can just read this off?
It's a,
Oh,
we're
it's here.
proposing
Sorry.
we're proposing a balanced budget. It saw increases in salary and benefits proportionate to our collective bargaining agreements and increases in insurance. It changed a little bit because we are getting more Medicaid funding than we had because of COVID, so that is kind of working itself out. We've seen those numbers grow. Other than that, it's a balanced budget, we balance it anyway, so it's good to go.
And
I will do a big presentation on Granite City's budget next time, so that's all the slides, it's at least 2 hours.
He's
I'm
kidding.
looking forward to it.
He's kidding.
I'm looking forward to it. I always look forward to your presentation.
But the process that should be followed is holding a public hearing on the proposed Region 22-20 budget, adopt the following resolution, and adopt the 22-23 Region 1 budget, and secure all necessary signatures for this year's.
Yep.
Had to read that.
As official, right?
Mhm.
Any questions for Mr. Suri on this, on the budget for Region One?
And Region 1 is the special education.
Yeah, for the board members like Talon
I
and
was just thinking I should probably.
Erica, Granite City is the administrative agent for Region One, which is the cooperative between the school districts for special ed. So that's why we pass the budget and we do all the administrative work in that regard.
No questions? All right, if none, I will entertain a motion to reconvene the regular board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Very good. So we are back in regular session, and now I need a motion to adopt the resolution and the Region One budget with a second.
Together, like we do,
Yeah,
they require
they're
separate action?
essentially one and the same.
The Region One's budget it's not a Region One slash special, it's just Madison County Region One's
So moved.
budget.
Second.
Who'd you give it to?
Eric.
Erica? Okay. And I will call, roll call vote on this, please.
Knoble,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn, I, Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Wonsmeyer.
Aye. Item 10, that wasn't too painful, was it? Okay. Item 10C, Administrator and Teacher Compensation Report.
And the authorization is requested to post the 21-22 teacher administrative salary report on the website to meet the requirement of sections 10-20.47 and 34-18.38 of the school code listed below.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? And
It
roll
is
call, please.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn, I, Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knoble,
Aye.
Wonsmeyer.
Aye. Item 10D, Granite City Saber Committee School Dances.
Granite City Saber Committee would like to request the renewal of the agreement to use the Grigsby Intermediate School Gymnasium for Saber school dances. The requested dates for the 22-23 school year are, first of all, I'm very happy that we're having dances, that means just all become happy. So October 21st, 2022, November 18th, 22, December 16th, 22, it's a lot of dances. January 20th, 23, February 17th, 23, March 24th, 23, and April 21st. Proof of insurance will be provided prior to the first dance. They also request permission to circulate flyers prior to the dance. Authorization is requested to renew the agreement for the 22-23 school year.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion?
All students are invited at the fifth and sixth.
Yes.
Yes.
Fifth and sixth
Can you
graders.
speak to-
Yeah.
Isn't
That's
like
what I
an
meant.
attendance thing?
Yeah,
right?
it's the fifth and sixth graders are invited to the dances.
Mhm.
As long as there's
In good standing.
disciplinary issues or something like that.
We do
But,
have
for the most part, and we have volunteer, I shouldn't say we, I'm
He
not
used
a
to
Saber
do
guy
it.
anymore. But we, have volunteers that come in and chaperone, the dances and things like
Are those
that.
parents?
So if someone wants to help, you come with
Um,
Someone
so-
wants to help Christy.
So it can be groups, like one year, I don't know who they are this year off the top of my head, but one year the theater students
That's true.
came in and did it, and then they make a donation to that group. So it's different groups.
Varies.
And, yeah, it varies. But like all of our SROs are normally there, the Saber officers there, things like that, so.
Do they have refreshments?
Yes,
They do.
absolutely.
Yes, they do.
Absolutely.
Please, Linda, do you wanna volunteer now? If there's refreshments,
They are
right?
good
Yeah,
time.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Soda,
Who
popcorn,
would wanna be a
candy,
fifth and sixth
pizza,
graders for
they do all
hours?
kinds of stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
I used to have Friday night lights when I was a.
Perhaps should Linda be
I'm
there?
excited.
Yeah, and she knows.
They
Start. Linda, you're already, we put you down.
It's a great
Zach, come on.
My grandson's,
No,
I am glad they're doing that.
no, I really am too. But I think Miss Helen Davis did actually already express interest in being one of the groups
Oh,
for
great.
the theater kids, so that's
Yeah.
exciting.
Everybody needs to practice with their
I know,
parents.
I know.
Exciting to get Nancy's back.
I
again,
know.
so that's
I think it's a good way for kids to.
another step in the right direction.
Mhm.
So I do have a motion and a second on that. Roll call, please, Zach.
None, I, Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knoble,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Wamsmeyer.
Aye. Item 10E, Insight Education Group. Ms.
Yes,
Ham?
you all received detailed information earlier, as to this proposal. We are seeking approval to enter into this agreement with an Insight Education Group for strategic planning for the GCSD9 22-23 school year. I want to speak to this a little bit. This is something our district has not done historically ever. It's very important. It involves a lot of community stakeholder input, actually the majority of it. This group facilitates the process. They run the surveys, they gather stakeholder information, there's a ton of transparency. I know they just finished this over at Ferguson Florissant School District with the same person that will be doing ours. They're very happy with it. I had a quote from their CFO, who was a graduate of here. Does anybody want to hear that? I can read it.
Yes, please.
Yes, it says, I asked her, she was even willing to come over, but the strategic plan process with Insight was a very thorough and easy process. Jason was flexible and worked well with all of our stakeholders to ensure the plan was what the board and administration envisioned. We are extremely happy with our strategic plan and highly recommend using Insight. She also offered to give me the final product, which is next week. I just think it's important for us as a 5-year plan, multi-grade level schools, buildings and grounds. There's a lot of things we have going on to be able to have a vision and have a process and goals and things to set objectives. I think it's really important that we set that process.
So I have
Go
a
ahead.
comment before we
Yeah.
move on. So I only got it last night,
Mhm.
so I haven't had a chance to read it. I would make a motion that we table this until September to have an adequate time
Okay.
to look at the, to look at it.
Any issues there, Ms. Cannon?
No, that's totally fine.
Just to give me,
Sure.
I don't
Totally
wanna
fine.
speak for everybody up here, but, I worked till 7 o'clock
Totally
last
fine.
night and then, went
Totally
to bed so
fine.
I could get back up to
We've
5:30
been,
this morning.
And I've been,
So,
I was delayed because we've been dealing with us issues up there.
Yeah,
So we've
right.
been not back either, so.
Right, so,
Yeah, we can table it.
I would like to table it
There's a
until,
motion, we need a second, we need a vote.
I will make a motion that we table this until the September meeting. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on that motion? Roll call, please.
Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knoble,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
none, I, Wamsmeyer.
Aye. Item 10F, we have resignation of our board vice president, Dr. Bill McMasters. And with regrets, we're accepting that resignation. And we are starting a process through school board policy to enlist for the next school board member to fill out his unexpired term. And Tom over here is gonna tell me what I'm saying wrong, but I'm gonna keep going at it here until otherwise. So, we are asking people, as we did before we went through this process a couple of years ago, asking if you are interested, and qualified, and I can go through that in just a minute, but, give us a letter of interest, stating, just tell us about yourself, why you wanna be a member of the Board of Education, describe your community involvement. A significant part of being a board member is communicating with others. So talk about that with us. Why do you think you are best at resolving conflict? Providing names and phone numbers of 2 references that we can call to vouch for character, and attach a professional resume to the email. All of these things are gonna be listed on the school district's website, so don't think that you have to write all this down and get it all to us. But I do need a letter from you if you are interested by 4 p.m. on Friday, September 10th. And then we will sit down and as a board review all those and come together with the next board member. You do need to be at least 18 years old, a U.S. citizen, a resident of the state of Illinois and the district for at least 1 year immediately preceding this position, and a registered voter. So all those qualifications, and again, all this will be spelled out on the district website. Mr. Schooley, did I miss anything?
The only thing, the vacancies to fulfill the unexpired term until April of 2023.
Thank you. Yes. Great point.
It'll be posted, so.
And there's no need to vote on anything, we're following existing board policies. So, thank you, Board President, very good.
Wow.
Do we need to vote to
We need
accept the
to-
resignation?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
We need to vote to accept the resignation,
Because it's
don't we?
effective.
No, under the school code,
Okay.
there's a certain time frame. Whenever the board actually receives a board member's resignation, it's effective immediately, because that then puts in the gears in motion. Within 5 days, we had to notify the regional office of education. That was done, and then that starts 60 days upon which the board has to fill the vacancy.
Okay,
So the law is as soon as it's received, it's effective.
that's effective, all right, thank you.
So if we get the application September 10th, and then the last Tuesday of September, is that still within the 60 days? Like,
Yes.
would we have to approve
Yes.
it that
Mhm.
September?
And if need be, the board can certainly, if they want to, they can interview certain candidates through a special meeting and appoint.
So that's what I'm wondering if we're gonna, sorry. If we're gonna do interviews, let's say we have 8 interviews or something, and we're gonna do that all in special, yeah,
Yeah.
just making sure.
Great questions, appreciate that. So, nothing additional on that, but please, district website will have all of this information on there if anyone is interested. Item 10G, recycle district computer equipment.
We are seeking approval to recycle district computer equipment that can no longer be used internally. We will receive a list of serial numbers of all products from PCs for People at a later date. I would like Brad Smith to just comment on this, because I know he's been in communication with this person.
Yep.
Give a little bit of an explanation.
So, what they do is they take district equipment and they refurbish it, and put it out to communities, for, people that need computers, Chromebooks,
Senior
monitors,
centers.
yeah, that kind of stuff, so. They approached us, I met with them, we have about 6 pallets plus, of computer equipment that we need to recycle, that it's free of charge, they don't charge us anything. So we're tentatively looking at, probably next week for approval of this. And, then once they receive the equipment, they go through it all, they get us a list of serial numbers and asset tags and all that stuff, and regurgitate it back to us, and we go from there.
And they're a national company.
Yep.
They even recently gave computers to our senior center here in town as well. I just think they're a really, reputable.
Yeah, they work a lot with libraries.
Oh, good, okay.
And municipalities, other governmental entities, that
Mhm.
kind of works.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Knoble,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn, aye, Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Holmesmeyer.
Aye. Item 11A, Freedom of Information Act requests.
We received 4 requests under the Freedom of Information Act during the period of July 16, 22 through August 16, 22. The first request was received on July 21st from Elizabeth Happold. She requested the following information: all documents regarding a backdoor referendum passed in your school district from 2008 to present. Copies of public notices relating to these referendums, along with a copy of school board minutes of the meetings in which such referendum was passed. Documentation of the issuance of bonds issued per these referendums. The second request was received on August 4th from Kurt Prenzler. He requested the following information: all bond issues by the Granite City School District 9 from 2008 to the present. Copies of board minutes and meetings authorizing the issuance of all bonds, including but not limited to backdoor referendums, front door referendums, and refinancing. Copies of all newspaper notices relating to said bond issues. The third request was received on August 5th, 2022 from Doris Acevedo. Requested the following information concerning compliance with wage notice and record-keeping requirements of Act by Wilkie Truck Service. Accordingly, the department is requesting all records currently in possession for the project indicated below. Copy and a call of bids for the contract specifying the prevailing wage requirements. Copy of the bid specifications calling for prevailing wage payments and the contractor's bid. Copy of any written notices to the contractor, subcontractor specifying the prevailing wage requirements, or if they are contained in other documents, please identify where. Copy of the contract to the above named project. Copy of the contractor's bond. Contracting firm's name, address, contact person, and phone number. Copy of the contractor's certified payroll. Identification of all sources of funding used to pay for the project. In addition, if the project had been designated as a Davis-Bacon project, please provide a copy of the specific designation for your public body received, along with the source of designation and funding. The fourth request was received on August 5th, 22 from Mr. Chuck Nowd, requested the following information: all emails to and from all GCSD9 administration regarding bargaining units participating in the August 19th, 20th U.S. Steel event, including keywords union, unions, members, and locals. These requests were all handled well by the administration.
Yes.
We appreciate that,
Yes,
so
we
thank
do.
you for handling that, and that is there for information only. And that takes us up to executive session, and we do have executive session tonight, under the exception of 2C8, student safety. And with that, I will entertain a motion to go into executive session.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The time is I gave it 6:35.